What is up, guys? I'm Mikey at 31 here, Madden 18, that time of year again. And what I'm going to do, or what I'm going to start to do, or begin to do, there's a lot to cover in this area. I'm going to begin to touch on why, if you're anything like me, why you're passing for a 90% completion percentage every single game and having the same thing done to you. I've played maybe about a good, I don't know, 8 to 10 games so far, and I've passed for under 90% completion percentage with two quarterbacks, Cam Newton and Blake Bortles. And earlier in the week, I tweeted out a little chicken scratch diagram of a concept called Cover 4 Lock. I also spoke about it when I was on the Simpson Handed radio show broadcast, and I decided to chime in as far as what was going on with coverage. We know what happened to coverage from EA Play to now, and I did a video a week ago called I Hate Johnny Casual with my speculation as to why that happened. And this is going to kind of all encompass that. Now, I'm going to show here what I think is the worst coverage in the game, cover 4. It's great for, covering the run with the safeties and the run fits, but against the pass, it is absolutely brutal. I catch the Colts in it here. I'm running a levels concept. I'm just going to play it at speed so we can see what falls apart, and then we're going to show why, and then I'm going to offer an explanation of the cover 4 lock concept that would, combat this. Here, the way the game designs it, you have quarter coverage. He's assigned with inside leverage, but we'll digress. No, we won't digress, actually. Can't have good coverage if you don't have proper leverage. They're both aligned inside. Should make a sideline throw, a deep sideline throw, easy pickings. But here he is in his zone here. Drift, drift, drift. Here's a quarter flat. If it wasn't a longer down distance situation, I could just snap this off here as a result of this drifting and the lack of leverage, because I can get the ball to the sideline before he gets there. Same thing here, drift, drift, drift. This is not completely disgusting here. Again, it's a quarter flat. He kind of walls off the inside there. The three receiver hook here carries, then drops him, and this causes the throwing lane to open up underneath the safety, who's not breaking on the ball until after the ball is caught. Now, the way this would be addressed, or could be addressed, is with a lock call, which would be a match concept, a pattern match concept out of cover 4, in which the solo side corner would have this receiver man-to-man, like he would in cover 3 match. This defender here would then have to alert for any flat wheel concept. And with the trips formation here, with this corner locked in, this safety here would then be free to overlap number 3. Because what happens here is that the 3 receiver hook side defender, he doesn't even carry him to a depth of 10. He carries him, about 8 to 10 he carries him, and then releases him. At least if there's an overlap, he can crack down on him. Now again, this guy's on his own, so remember that part of it. Or would be on his own. And this defender here would be keying off of number 2 and number 3 here. And he could drive on this too. Because they're just drifting and turning guys loose, you have this wide open throwing lane. All right, so let's now kind of recap here. Again, show what's wrong, why it's wrong, and things we can do to rectify the wrong. One, have proper leverage to the outside here, rather than having them line and bail out of there. Have them assign, the proper leverage to the outside. Because again, like I said, I can snap off an out route here between him and the sideline, all day. He has no shot of getting there based off of how he's aligned. I mean, look how much ground that is to cover. He won't get there. I've made that throw a million times. The third receiver hook guy, he cannot let the third receiver to his side, again counting right to left, 1, 2, 3. He cannot let him cross his face, and he has to carry him vertically. Now, if he releases him for whatever reason, he would at least have, depending on how deep this route is, the backside safety and the solo side overlapping, and you would also have the safety here reading between 2 and 3. And then breaking. So between these two guys, this should account for that, to converge on that throw and close a space. And again, that would leave this corner alone, man to man. If he goes vertical, he goes with him. If he runs a post, he can't assume inside help in the event of a need for him to overlap a deeper route. Like, let's say this guy runs a post, he'd be there to overlap it. Like if this guy here ran down the seam, he'd account for him. And if this guy broke off and ran a post or a deep square in, he'd overlap it. So that's just one example. I mean, I'm going to go through all these coverages and why guys are being turned loose all over the place. And, we know a patch is going to be coming to fix it, but until then, all hell is breaking loose. But we don't know how deep the patch is going to go as far as pattern match logic and how it's going to be impacted by man shading, whether they're going to fix protect the sticks. There's a whole slew of issues here that need to be addressed. I have no idea why they did this. I mean, everyone was raving about the coverage after EA Play, and then from EA Play, since then, when they had the capture event, everyone came back saying, ugh, coverage is weak. And, now that it's in our hands, we get to see exactly what they were talking about. It is not good. It is not good out there at all. So, again, this is just a little introduction to what I'm doing. I'm going to be going back to doing more educational stuff. I kind of got away from that last year in my foray into the MUT world. I'm going to dial back on that and get back to my roots some and, go from there. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you all later.